Hi guys, welcome to Pax Europiana, the podcast about peace and prosperity in Europe. This is now an update about recent events, and I will also talk about opening the Austrian labor market, and about the euro for everybody in the EU and for the 9 accession countries. 2 of them have it already. And so I will sum up a bit because I'm now, after all these op-eds, now it's day 11th in Moldova. That was really very good news yesterday. And I have prepared 2 or 3 more. I hope it's possible. And thanks a lot for all my friends who support me on that one, to publish the idea to use the euro as the tool for peace, prosperity, and the firm fundament of stability and of prosperity and of unity that I wanted to say. Yes, so that is very important. Then also the labor market to add it. And now I have drafted several open letters in that respect, especially to have the openness of the Kosovo labor market. That's of course very important, but for in Austria, because we are not required to ask anybody in the European Union. Austria can open the labor market unilateral. So I want to test also the commitment of the new government now under Schallenberg, if they are really friends or just blah blah guys for the Balkans, as it was Mr. Kurz, who I hope will no longer bother us with his populism. He hopefully will also resign as the chairman of the People's Party, because then there will be better policy, hopefully, again. So then it's of course the situation, what I have summed up now in 10 points in this open letter, which I plan to publish, is quite clear. It is first of all that Austria should support all the 9 countries with the Euroization, 7 actually, the same as it has supported Kosovo and Montenegro in 2002, and also veto all other EU countries when they want to somehow do something against the countries which then want to use the euro. That must be also to back the countries. When, for example, Albania wants to do it, Austria should support and also block any potential countermeasures by the European Central Bank. That's very important. Then also the same for Macedonia and Bosnia, and so we have a consistent strategy. Additionally, to incentivize all countries that do that, first of all Montenegro and Kosovo already, but if other countries do this policy, then the Austrian labor market to be fully opened. That is very good as an incentive for the countries to do it, and very good for our businesses, for our economy. I remind everybody that Austria has half the success of Germany and is double the unemployment, not because we have too many people, no, because we have too little growth, because we have too less people, and also that a strong labor market with more people creates more jobs and more growth and additionally more investment. And we are blocked because we have no people, and then we have cut ourselves artificially thanks to Kurzian populism, the Kurze populism, which is a double sense in the meaning. He has been never experienced what is the economy, what is Europe, and he has cut everything because that is popular. When you make a vote in Vienna, if they would like to have Upper Austrians on their labor market, probably the Viennese would be against that if they would have a choice. Yeah? So, you cannot. The famous joke is always, should you allow a referendum about the release of the lions in the Schönbrunn zoo? Obviously, the joke is, you never know if they have eaten already or not. So ultimately, you cannot put everything to the vote of a referendum. Yeah? Obviously, then everybody thinks just about him personally and has fears of others. We have to build a reasonable Europe. And we built Europe to have everybody chances and opportunities to have a continental union. We didn't build Europe to exclude the Albanians or the Ukrainians or the Serbs or the Moldovians. Yeah? I mean, if you are like that, then you're racist and you shouldn't be in charge of the European Union. And you should not call yourself a pro-European, but go out in the street, put yourself a table on, I'm a racist, and then, okay, you will see that I hope you will not be in public policy for too long. So the situation is that we have built Europe for a united Europe, for the currency for everybody and the labor market for everybody, not for the whole world. We can just have some Afghans, some people from Nigeria and Eritrea, even when they really want to come. Yes, I understand that it's very painful and we have not these possibilities. But definitely we built Europe to have everybody from Europe in these institutions. Yeah? And to exclude them is utterly wrong. It is utterly wrong. It is utterly wrong. And it has to be changed. Yeah? So the open letter obviously is then also going in the direction to have the free NATO allies in the European Union if they adopt the euro. Albania, Macedonia, listen to me. That's very important. Montenegro should be anyhow 2024 already in the European Union. And Bosnia and Kosovo, the EU candidate status. That's also very logically and Austrian very much the interest. And yes, that would be the most important. Obviously then also to have the future is the Regional Cooperation Council and no Eastern Partnership, because on 15th of December we are going to celebrate again this failed Eastern Partnership, which was very good until 2014-16. Thanks, we had it, but now obviously with Belarus being almost taken over, so it makes no sense anymore. And the better format is the Regional Cooperation Council and rebudget the Eastern Partnership money under this IPA and under this Regional Cooperation Council. And it's also very good for all the countries to sit together because they can learn from each other. That's the whole idea of having an enlargement process, having this kind of approximation process. And it's also good for Armenia and for Azerbaijan. As the situation of Turkey, which I don't support for EU membership because it's politically too far away and we want to build a political union, and the same is true for Armenia, Azerbaijan. They have to go through decades of approximation if they ever choose to go that way. And it's not only the legal approximation, which in the customs union, which I also called for, is already the next step, but it's also a foreign policy approximation, and that's very impossible for Turkey to approximate its foreign policy towards the European Union in a foreseeable future. So I don't support Armenia, Turkey, and Cyprus. Cyprus, obviously, Azerbaijan, I'm saying. Cyprus obviously should be in NATO, that is the solution, and also in the EU fully. Also the Republic, the Northern entity should join the Republic, and also obviously to adopt the euro fully in the North as well. And so the Northern, the Turks living in the statelet in the North, they will be very happy, I think, with that settlement if there would not be these political orders from Ankara. So anyhow, that's a different topic. What I want to talk is here about my open letters. I have prepared now 3 of them, if I'm correct, in various forms and manners. And I plan to launch them on my Facebook site or publish them wherever I can publish them. And I think it's quite logically that we should join the direction of we should change the direction in Austrian politics now. Austria has a special role in Southeastern Europe, historically and mentality and economically and in many aspects. So we have to take responsibility again. And after a failed decade, where basically from 2008 to now we have, let's not be too strict with Croatia. There was progress in 2013, but since then Austria has been totally badly mismanaged by Sebastian Kurz. It's personally him. It was, of course, claiming to speak for a generation of people. He has basically betrayed a generation of Eastern Europeans and people from the Balkans. On their back, he has built his career, and with his dirty tricks, of course, like a comet, he came up, he's falling down. And good as that, because he was not ready for any risk for Southeastern Europe. He went nice to the faces, going there everybody and saying, oh, so good, so good, so good, so nice to meet you, I'm happy to be here. But he did nothing in Vienna in terms of decision making or in Brussels, where he had the power for 4 years. So luckily, he doesn't have the power anymore. And luckily, he hopefully he will also leave politics now very soon. That would be very good. Anyhow, that's my open letter here, which I have drafted now, and I explain it in this video. I will also put it online on my Twitter feed and on my Facebook. I will also try to involve other organizations, build coalitions, partnerships, as I was told. That is very important, and it is very important. But I understand Austria is mentality-wise very far away from where it should be, and where also economically and socially we have arrived already. because the social situation in Austria and the economic situation is much more integrated already. When you go to the streets, when you shop somewhere, then Southeastern Europe is united in Vienna and in Linz and even in Vöcklerbruck. Yeah? And it's already happening economically, obviously. It's also happening a long time ago. The economic and social transition has happened. The political here in the heads of the elites, unfortunately, they are stuck in a long gone past. And that's really very sad. Now let's come to the geostrategic situation, which is worsening. Because Russia now the second time has its tanks this year on the European-Russian border in Ukraine in order to threaten us to do what they want. So that's basically like this. You put this whatever 94 tanks or whatever, I don't know, this massive accumulation of tanks on the European-Russian border, which is basically our border, the Eastern Front. You put them there. And you have basically then you ask for this meeting with Biden, and Putin got the meeting with Biden. Now he wants the Nord Stream 2 to be certified, which hopefully will not be very fast. And he wants us to break our kind of European regulatory framework. He wants Germany to submit and to regulate, to certify this pipeline, to give it the operational license. And he wants obviously to sell much more carbon gas. And our political elite is explaining us that this carbon is very important for less carbon. So because our coal is more dirty than Russian gas. You know, there's also some scientific truth. Yeah, you can of course burn that a bit better, but because it has less CO2, the gas. Yeah, I understand the logic. But what is not included is that we in the European Union, we extract the mining process, for example of coal, is done under European regulation. How the things are done in Siberia, you can only guess. And we will have to clean up the mess one day. And so then we say, oh yes, it's very cheap at the moment when they sell it to us, because they destroy the environment completely over there, some 1,000 kilometers beyond the Ural, somewhere in Siberia, and we don't care. How any serious climate activist can think it's a cool thing to replace European coal with Russian gas is for me a mystery, and I think many of them receive indirectly Russian funding. Because that's the way they do it. Okay, Russia is not a topic, Nord Stream 2 is not a topic, Russian uranium is not a topic, all is fine when it comes from Russia, but when it's our own material, then it's of course a big problem. That's really close to treason for me. That's treasonable. And when our whole climate activities result in more energy dependency from Russia, basically Russia exporting more into the European Union because we cut ourselves into the feet, and then I think it's absolutely counterproductive. I made many publications, I'm very much for the end of carbon mobility. Yes, let's stop to have any kind, and it can be in 2025, let's be more radical, Let's not certify any new car in the European Union by 2025. Normally I'm for 2030, but okay, let's up the ante. It's fine for me because it's mainly the petrol from Russia and maybe some of our Arab partners, friends or competitors. Let's burn less of that. Very good. Let's burn less Russian gas. Very good. Let's also burn less Russian uranium. Very good. Hello Hungary, hello Finland, hello Czech Republic, hello Slovakia. Let's also burn less Russian, what I said, coal, uranium, petrol, gas, the four main sources. That's very good. But let's be a little bit, when we want to leave coal, yes, but let's provide alternatives. Then we cannot as well leave uranium. And let's at least buy it from Australia or from Canada or from the US. Yes, let's forbid Rosatom. Then we come into a strategy. But what we are currently doing, just claiming that everything is the most important is the climate and our safety, the life of the Ukrainians at the Eastern Front doesn't matter. The situation like Russia is preparing a next Balkan war. Many of the advocates, many of the journalists believe that. I don't think so, that there will be a real war, but they try to threaten us. Because the threat is always the instrument to submission. and then they will have no cost with a war. They have not messed up anything, but we have approved Nord Stream 2. So that's the idea of Russia. They don't want to have another Balkan war, but they want to threaten it and show their possibilities. Yeah? In Macedonia, to support the pro-Russian opposition, in Bosnia, to threaten secession. And realistically, Dodik, the Bosnian Serb leader, he should be dismissed. Yeah? But war is not a realistic option, because given the situation of power and of NATO and our situation there, and the way the Republika Srpska is designed, he would immediately lose the east and the south of his statelet, and he could have some Chetnik Republic of Republika Srpska up there in the north, and that would be politically unsupplyable, militarily, logistically unsupplyable from Serbia. Serbia cannot really, not even Milosevic went fully in for the Bosnian War in 95. So I cannot imagine a scenario where the Serbs really roll their tanks over the Drina. And when then would be of course a war with NATO, because we have a security guarantee for the integrity of Bosnia. And so if Dodik wants to go alone and to be some kind of martyr for the Serb cause, he can do some damage to himself and some of his followers, but he cannot really achieve much more than that. Of course, he can block the future of Bosnia in EU and NATO, that he can. So he can do damage. So he should be removed from state power and from every kind of authority. And that's why the Russians know that they want, obviously, to have this office of the High Representative, because they know that such powers can be done. And then there's nothing to be done for Dodik. He can make a demonstration, go to arms, but he will be dealt by his own authorities, ultimately, because he is then an outlaw. And he can hide with Yanukovych in Moscow. So that's the situation in Bosnia. So a new war is not imminent, but a permanent, twice-a-year threat with war is used by Russia to undermine European unity and ask us to get what they want. In that case, the certification of Nord Stream 2. And that's, of course, an entirely unsatisfactory situation. And that's, of course, very worrying. Sorry, I got an email. So situation is like this. And I am not very happy with it, so that's why I call for more unity by the euro, more openness on the labor market, faster enlargement. Of course, you know that already when you have listened to some of my videos, EU to join NATO and to conclude free trade agreements and so on and so on, and to focus on economic growth, SMEs, and on our security and our unity. Because that's exactly what the Russians can not change when we are more united. They are by far, they are 1/10 only of the European economy, and whatever 5% of the West. And so they are not so relevant, but they perceive themselves very powerful, and they are perceived because we are so disunited. And that's my call for more unity, and that's why I wrote this open letter. Follow me on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Substack. I will also update my website, and I will also give more information via YouTube and via my podcast. So thanks a lot for listening. More to come, and bye from Pax Europiana. Bye.